I have started recording this session. Even if you want us to okay, okay then. Okay, just give me a. Let me know once you're able to see my screen. So let me try share my screen.
Yeah, it's fine, perfectly fine.
Okay. So we were on the content server part. Let me come back from it. So we are going to discuss the architecture part of Documentum. Basically, we are starting with the content server. Right. First, we'll discuss the content server because the Documentum is a suite of products. Right. We have a multiple products that by combining together, they make a whole system, the DMS system. Right.
Yeah.
So so we'll discuss the content server first. Content server has internal several components, several components in terms of, I mean, I mean, when I say the content server is a one physical machine, right? One physical server that has its own IP address. So within that content server, there's certain internal application that are running and that make one server called content server. So internally, content server has a two three applications. I mean, right. So we'll discuss what all are these components and how they interact with each other, right? So this is I mean, little kind of, I mean, though it's a theoretical, but it will give you a knowledge of kind of architect kind of knowledge. So even this will help you out to understand how the architecture, how the communication of Documentum works, and will help you to integrate. I mean, in case if you have to set up a Documentum or suggest a Documentum, or you have to I mean, design a solution or Documentum solution to any other businesses, right? That will help you out in that regards.
Okay, okay.
So we were discussing that content server. Basically, content server. When I say the content server is a this
Yeah, I guess you explained to me like,
right. This is a physical machine, right? Exactly. So internally on content server, uh, there is a I mean, dog base. So basically, dog base is I mean, it's a combination of database and file storage,
yeah,
right? So file storage where our content is goes, and the metadata is on the database RDMS, right?
yes.
Just okay. Now, so I told you. See, one is a. I mean, here in this diagram, just let me show you something. I told you this is a physical machine, right? This is a physical machine, physical server,
Mm,
and internally it is connected with the dog base. I mean, internally it has a dog base.
mm,
Dog base is something where our metadata and where our metadata is going,
yeah,
right? Where our metadata is going, right? So what we do, I mean, one content server has a one dog base.
okay,
Generally,
yeah,
one physical machine has a one dog base, right?
okay,
So generally, I mean, for higher availability. let's say we have a too much load on the server, right? So in that case, what we can do, we can have a multiple content server that can access the same doc base.
Okay.
What would be the benefit of it?
So, example, that load or the contents or capacity is increasing. That
Exactly right. So it will it will distribute the load, right? For example, let's say we have a 1000 users. Let's say, I mean, they are concurrently accessing a doc content server. So some, I mean, request, all these 1000 requests can be distributed with all these three content servers. So it will have a good performance, right? The system can have a good performance. So just to having a, I mean, this distribution, right? So distribution of content server, or distribution of this distributed architecture, called a higher availability, HA, right? Higher availability. So what is mean by higher ability? I mean, the system must be available most of its time, I mean, right? I mean, let's say in the banking system, for example, if I think no one can bear the a shutdown of application, or the, you know, any moment application is down, right? So similar to the Documentum, in case if we want this application up 24 by 7, and I mean, no loss of data. So what we do, we create a higher availability. Higher availability. So higher availability means the system is up and running, I mean. So in the higher availability, there is a two things. One is a load balancing. Load balancing, that I'm telling you, that distribution of load, right? We, what we do, we make one content server two, I mean, two physical machine, three physical machine, that access a one doc base, right? But sometimes we have a higher availability, but oh sorry, we have a load balancing, but we want some higher availability as well. Higher availability means your system should not be down. Load balancing is a one thing, right? Load balancing thing, distribution of load, but your system should be up and running every moment of time. There's there should no loss of data in me. There should not be any outrage in the system.
yes, sir. I can say it's a kind of performance testing, I can say.
Performance is a load balancing.
Right. There are also some couple of types are there. I have gone through that.
Yeah,
Load,
yeah.
volume, stability, stress, and step up testing. And like there are some different. There are types of testings are different, but that is again completely depending on the users and number of loads. I mean, example I can say if the user is using that continuously for one system performance should not be down. That is one aspect. And also there should be certain amount of load, how the system can able to balance. That is one kind of evaluation. And third thing is, so once the application is running, it should not terminate immediately or exit immediately. So in between the process due to that
Right.
higher load.
Yeah, correct. It's just I cite a one. I mean, just in addition to that, let's say, I mean, what I'm trying to say. I mean, load balancing. I think you got it's very fine. I mean, you are, but the HA is what I mean. Your system should up and running every moment of time, and it should not have any outrage. By mean is that, for example, here's the one system, right? One server is there in, let's say there is a power shortage, or there is any any accident taking place. So let's say your this system is down, then what would be there? I mean, your application all be down. So what we do, we have a more than one content server. If any of the service is down, at the same moment second service get started, and started taking the request from the user, right?
Mean to say it's a kind of recovery.
Recover is again another thing, DR.
No,
That
I can say that it's a kind of a disaster recovery.
the disaster recovery, yeah, that I will come this DR part, but I'm right now I'm discussing this HA means, for example, here's the one content server, this is a content server 2,
Okay,
right? Let's say right now this is taking a request. I mean,
okay,
this content server is running by by any chance, at sudden this server is down, right? So at immediately, at that fraction of time, I mean, that moment, this content server will up and running, start, I mean, it will get started, this server,
okay,
and start taking the request from the user
okay,
and fulfilling that, I mean. So there is no downtime, I mean, you are working, I mean, you are let's say, I mean, let's say you are transferring a money, right?
yeah,
Suppose there is a bank site and you are transferring money, and immediately this server is down,
okay.
right? I mean, it then in that case what would happen, I mean, you
Yeah,
might lose your right.
yeah,
So
that
he,
continues without
exactly, right,
money deduct and
yeah, yeah,
that termination will happen. That will
ex- exactly. Even, I mean, so any could, I mean, anything could, unfair thing could be happen.
yeah,
So to avoid such a situation, what we do, the solution is HA. So have a two, three, one, two, three, or like this, many more servers. So in case of any failure in the server, I mean, it could be anything. Your hard disk fail. Any, I mean, these are the physical things, right? Electronic things. Anything could be happen, right? We cannot assure that nothing will happen, though there are certain checks, but still, right? So we what we do, we have a more than one content server, means content server, one physical, more than one physical machines. That physical machine, what do it, checks every time of the services. If any outrage in the service, in the first primary service, then secondary node of that server gets up and start functioning, right? So in case if this second node is down, then this third server get up and start functioning. Otherwise, first, I mean, primary node sense it. If secondary node is down, primary service get up and start functioning. So this is, yeah, this is called HA, and this whole topic is called distribution of the server. So distribute content distribution, right? Content server distribution. So three thing I mean, two things so far discussed: load balance, HA, and load balancing. And next is the disaster recovery, right? Disaster recovery is something, I think you might have an idea of it. Disaster recovery is something. Let's say this node is got failed, right? So right, and if you want to resume, I mean, for example, here's a X number of data, and you want to resume your business from that moment where it got uh, it got terminated. So I mean, how would you get it? So you need to recover the data, right? I mean, let's say here's uh, some climatic conditions have occurred, or like this, some, something. So here it is not possible you to access this machine.
yes, yes,
So
yes,
so what we do, we take a periodic backup of these servers. Periodic backup, how we take a periodic backup, because here we have a two nodes, right? Two things. One is a database, and second is a file storage. This file storage is just like, you can consider this storage just like your pen drive, I mean, your D drive, E drive, F drive, right? The space available in your machine, right, your system, and like this, right? Though generally we have a, I mean, it could be a network drive, network, any kind online drive on cloud. This space could be anywhere, but just consider this is in your machine. So there are certain software that take a backup periodically I mean every each day or every each hour. So in case if this server is failed, then we have another system that get started with the with that particular backup that
Okay.
is periodically taking place,
Yeah. Okay.
right? That is called DR,
Yeah. Okay.
right? You are recovering your data from any I mean due to any disaster, right? That is that backup is taking place at periodic at certain level of periodically, right? But again, it does not guarantee 100%. I mean, you have no 100% guarantee that every backup you will get it, because, right? But yeah, there is almost chance, at most you can recover,
Okay. Okay.
because no solution is like 100% solution.
Okay.
So the same thing, one content server usually manages a single doc base, but for load balancing, we can have a more than one content server, right? More than I mean, we have a more than this content server, more than, but it access the same doc base.
Doc base will not be varies like
Right.
content
Yeah.
distinct type of
Right.
number of content server in order to balance that
Right.
system and also to improve the performance and also to maintain that load balancing. We are using that multiple content server with one doc base.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, so another thing is that why we are saying the same doc base, because see, why I'm saying that it accesses the same database, though internally, I mean that database and that file storage is on disaster. I mean, there are certain particular backup are there, but and also the database is in on a load. I mean, again in load balancing or something, but this database is a same. Why? Because I mean, for example, here the user is accessing by this way. Your content is there in this is present in there this database, right? So this content, this file, let's say one PDF is there and you're accessing that. So same PDF, I mean, one request if is coming to this content server, so second request can go to this server for accessing the same document, right?
Yeah. So one thing here.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you said that content server is having multiple to load, maintain the load, but RDBM is having the central database, as you said, so Dockbase. So in Dockbase also, is there any memory issue or some other things? Then how it will manage internally in the system? Like,
correct.
oh,
Yeah, I got your point. See, I told you this database is a kind of a virtual thing.
okay,
Usually, this content server, uh, I mean, by the content server, we can interact this database through the content server, because content server has certain API, certain mechanism to access database. So this is a kind of a virtual thing, but at the in actual, what is that? Here's a database, right? So database is managed by another server. The database we have one another physical machine that where the database is installed.
oh, right, right. You said to me, yeah,
Yeah. So that's where this all this memory and such kind of things, because database server it has a own mechanism to use a memory, how to optimize a memory and everything.
so basically it uses that Oracle database or any database.
Yes, I will come to that point. We have a separate session very in detail to discuss that.
Okay.
I mean, how to select which database you should go,
Yeah.
or I mean how to design. I mean that we have a separate. But okay, I mean I'll give you the overview. See, content though content server support multiple databases. It has a Oracle, it has a MySQL, MS SQL,
Right.
Microsoft SQL, right? MySQL, and even your Postgres. So many databases there.
MongoDB, PostgreSQL.
Yeah, right. So again, nowadays, as per the practice, everything depend on the cost, right? Every organization want to save the or reduce the cost in the project, right? So earlier it was Oracle that was highly used. If 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 your project is average project, I should say, the I mean if, where the cost is concerned, right? I mean, we have several kind of project where the security is concerned, right? Let's say we have a banking projects, right? So you cannot compromise with the security. The cost is not concerned for you in that moment, right?
Yes, yes.
But let's say if you have a insurance I mean project for the insurance domain. So what is matter for you? The cost matters for you, because if you have a very high optimized system is there, then what is the use of, because you have to maintain a document only, right? I mean, you just maintaining a document, that the cost is concerned. So where the cost is concerned, you'll go the cheaper way. I mean, the things that gives you a maximum benefit, but with the minimum cost.
Yeah, understood. Depending on the type of business,
Right.
it
Yeah.
includes security
So
aspects as well as the cost effects also. We cannot compromise with the security with respect
right.
to the business type.
So
This
Oracle,
is
yeah.
also important. Yes,
So I mean, Oracle is the most costly, as I should say, among the all the database versions available. So Oracle is a much costlier than than the Microsoft SQL. But usually, nowadays, everyone is moving on premises to cloud one, right?
yeah, AWS or Azure or Google Cloud, they are going.
You're right, right.
Mm.
So right. So Azure nowadays, I mean, if you say the either Amazon or I mean the Azure nowadays having a I should say uh, as comparatively too much business or I mean more than with the other right.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
because yeah, so AWS, I mean they have the Microsoft, and even the SQL is a Microsoft product. So nowadays, I mean, if you are taking a AWS, then mostly the people take this SQL part.
Yeah,
I mean, they go for SQL. Even I mean, I have seen that earlier the peoples are using a database Oracle, and they are migrating from Oracle to SQL, MS SQL
yeah,
again. So let's say you have a setup already there,
okay,
right? I mean, what kind of projects nowadays? What kind of work is there in Documentum? I'm trying to tell you.
okay, sure.
S- So let's say data already. I mean, they have a setup. They are using Oracle now. Due to the cost, they have to migrate from Oracle to my MS SQL, right? I mean SQL, right?
Yeah,
So this is one kind of project. I mean, nowadays, such kind of work is going on in Documentum. People migrate from one database to another database. So I mean, though it's looking very simple, just because they are just changing a database, but it's the entire project, right? This project is kind of a one scratch project from, I mean, that start from the Documentum, I mean, right? So it is though it's just looking simple, right? Just they are changing a database, but it's this project, um, you have to develop entire solution from zero to 100, like this.
okay,
So how to do that, again I will discuss. We'll see that how to install a content server, uh, how to do the requirement gathering for the content server installation, what all things are needed, port, memory, server utilization, such kind of how to prepare a report. That will we'll discuss very in detail in this,
okay.
right, for this.
Yeah.
Next thing, what is a dog broker? I mean, I told you there is a one another term called a dog broker.
One thing, sir,
Yeah, yeah,
we
please.
have shown that screen which contains that this GUI. So parallelly, you can tell that parallelly where it is located and how
Yeah, I mean,
it will, or first you will go entirely with the theory
yeah,
part.
right. First, I mean, I want it complete to the theoretical. So, and second, when I'll demonstrate you these all things, then again we'll have this all. I mean, we'll discuss. So you'll have a, I mean, kind of, revision kind of,
Okay.
right?
Because
So
it is keep on going, no, the theoretical part only. So it is not going through this GUI and how this hierarchy like
yeah,
folder
yeah,
will be there, right? Widgets.
uh,
So
generally,
parallelly that running part as well as the theory part together, no? So it will give some more idea for this GUI as well as the theoretical part. So otherwise it will be like monotonous.
okay.
Sorry if I'm telling you wrong.
No, not an issue. So again, even I could. Okay, give me a moment. Let me open and tell you the same. So I will demonstrate you both of the things in Linux and Windows both.
Yeah.
Uh, so even let me show you in the Windows.
Yeah, in reality, when the person is handling this admin part, so they will get the Windows one or Linux one. I'm not entirely
Again, it depends on again, project to project.
okay.
I
That
mean,
both are required for the view and because
the Windows. It I think I should tell you the Windows because again, I mean the Linux is towards a more technical, but I will give you an idea. I mean, you will have an idea, right? So initially, we'll focus more on Windows so that it would be easier for you to understand. And also, I'll demonstrate. I mean, we'll let you know that how it taken place or what is the way and how the it looks like in a Linux like that.
okay,
Yeah. I mean, you can see my Windows machine, right?
no, not still PPT only.
Okay. Now,
Yeah, now it is.
okay. So basically, this is a server, um, right? Uh, when you install a content server, I mean, this is a content server machine, right?
Okay.
I mean, it's just similar to the this Windows machine, Windows server.
Mm,
And once you install a content server, it get installed on a particular drive wherever you provide. Let's say the C drive or D drive or F drive, like. So it create a one Documentum folder,
mm,
right? And it has a such much folder hierarchy,
okay.
app token, cache, and so certain important folders are there. Like I mean, right in the Documentum, certain important folders are there like DBA, right, and products, shared, and Wildify. These three four folders are there that has some configuration part.
Okay.
I mean, where you do some configuration. I mean, right, for making changes in the system.
Okay.
Right. So once I mean, again, we'll have a one another session where we will discuss this again in very in deep, right, in detail.
Yeah.
But right now, just I'm giving you the overview. And second thing, once you install it, it just make one kind of windows. I mean, it give you the this kind of windows, Documentum Server Manager,
Okay.
where there are three tabs: repository, doc broker, and utilities.
Okay.
Right, repository. This is the doc base,
Yeah.
XCP repo. This is the doc base, and here's the doc broker. That right now, I mean, right away we'll discuss. This is a doc broker. Repository, either I should say repository or a doc broker, both are the synonym of, oh sorry, doc base or doc repository, both are the synonym of each other,
Okay.
right? Doc base or repository. So wherever you find a doc base means it is a repository, or wherever you find a, I mean, it is written as a repository means it's a doc base. Both are the same thing, right? And there is one another tabs, utilities. Again, we'll let you know how to. I mean, this panel is used to check the performance of the system. Again, how to use it, that we'll discuss. Right. So now, doc broker. Doc broker. What is a doc broker? Doc broker is a process on the server, on the content server machine. There is a process that has the information about which dog base is running or not. I mean, whether the dog base is running or not. So, for example, I mean, this dog broker, this dog broker is something. This dog broker is something that have the information about whether the dog base is running or not, or if it is running, or I mean, because we can have a more than one dog bases as well also. So for example, let's say we have a, generally we have a development environment, UAT environment, and the production environment like this, right?
Okay.
So I mean, we'll have a three repository, three dog bases for each of the environment, but there would be a one dog broker. So let's say it is a, we have a, this is a UAT, right? This is a development, and here's the prod. I mean, these are the
Okay.
three repositories, three dog bases, right? And it is connected with the one dog broker, right? So how would the client know whether the UAT is running, or dog base is up or running, or the production? By this dog broker. So the work of the dog broker is to get the information of the particular dog bases, whether they are running or not running, right? So if the any of the dog base is not running, the dog broker will have a error exception that the particular dog base is not running. So the administrator, the work of admin is to check the dog broker each of every time whether it's running or not running. If dog broker is down, if dog broker is down, then the content server is down.
Okay.
Right, all the business will, I mean, they will not have access of Documentum, because every client, I mean, this computer, right, this denotes to a client. This client goes by a dog broker,
Okay.
right? Go by a dog broker. So dog broker, so how to check whether the dog base is running up and running or not running? In
Okay.
case it is not running, then admin has to take a action. They has to start it first.
Okay.
Otherwise it would be a outrage in the system, there would be a downtime in the system, right? So business cannot,
without the draft broker.
Uh, right. I mean, so
Yeah.
what is a doc broker in Windows? I just show you. This is a doc broker, right? This doc broker. Here's the start stop. So how to check whether the doc broker is up and running? Here's the option view log.
Okay.
Click on view log,
Okay.
and here, see, here's the I mean, if there is an error in the system, here you will find. I mean, like error, the dog broker is not running, or some error or some network issues there, right? In case the network issue is there, then here it is, the error would be displayed over here, that the network is down, there is a network issue or some xyz issues, right?
Okay.
Here's the issue. I mean, you can just go and check the dog broker log, and and I mean, if the issue is, I mean, let's say there is an issue with the operating system, then you can inform to the operating system team. If issue with the database, you can inform to the database team. If issue with the cloud, you can inform to the cloud team. I mean, here you can decide and inform to the team that particular issues is coming and need to be resolved.
Network system means network contains this kind of components like support or cloud or operating system.
Right. So network, basically, see here what you are doing. You are, I mean, one machine, you are interacting with the database, right?
Yeah.
And you are interacting with file storage, right? So I
Yeah.
mean, how you are interacting? I mean, you are connected with the network, right? I
Yeah.
mean, these all are the physical machines,
Yeah.
right? These are the different laptops, let's say. I mean, just for assume, just for your understanding, there are different machine. You are connected through a cable, right? If there is a fault in the cable, you cannot communicate with each other. I mean, you are communicating via network.
Yeah.
Are you getting my point?
Yes. Yes.
So again, you can ask to network team that you are not able to connect, or you are not able to ping. You know what is what does it mean by ping? How to ping means how to check the another machine. I mean, you are able to access another machine or not. I mean, let's say,
Yeah, actually, I heard this concept in this command prompt. So if internet is working or not, then we will just go to the CMD part. Then we are typing the ping google.com like that. So to verify that machine is having the access to the internet and all.
correct.
And the
Same,
includes one more command like CD. CD means to do this directories and DOS command something like compicon label or something like
right,
database.
correct. I
I
mean,
had only few concepts, but I'm not sure. Linux also few commands are there.
right.
Yeah.
So how, I mean, see, here's the content server, here's the DB, and this is the storage that I was talking about, file storage, right? Storage. So this is connected by like this,
Okay.
right? Like this. And here's the end user, like this. So this is by a internet. I mean, by a network. This is by a network. There's a by network. So if there is an issue in the network, then this machine cannot not able to connect with each other, cannot able to connect communicate with each other. So the network must be up and running,
Okay.
right? So this you can check in doc broker log, right? So what is that? I mean, this is the one way, right? Here's the one way. And another, if you open this command, this services, right? Services document. So these services uh, can be find here. Documentum dog broker. See, Documentum dog broker, service dog broker, right?
Yeah.
This is the, I mean, basically this, if you click from here, basically it start this service, right? Either you can right click and start, or you can click from this prompt.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this is a, right. Either you can start from GUI, otherwise you can start from the services. So how to get the services? Services.msc. Go to the run and start service. Right. I mean, services. How to that? Go to run, and then services.msc. Correct?
It is a by default mode. Services.msc is the default.
Right. Yeah, it's a default. It's a Windows feature.
Okay. Maybe Linux it may vary somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, there is no, I mean, in the Linux, there is a different thing. I'll show you that what is in Linux. Yeah, because there is no service in the Linux. Linux has the, I mean, again, it's in Windows. Linux has a, Linux machine has a process,
Okay.
right? So in the Linux, you can, you know, put a command like this. I mean, in the Linux, there is a dollar prompt, right? On the prompt, ps-ef. It display the processes running, all the running processes. This command display the running processes, right? So, right now, because I mean, so many processes are running. How to check that whether that process, I mean, that dog broker process is running or not running? So you just put a pipe sign like this and grab dog broker, right? This command,
Okay.
by this command, you can see the whether the process is running or not. But in Windows, just go to the I mean, go to the run service.msc, and you can look, I mean, it will display you all the services. Just go and look. By searching, you can look it. Now, I told you the dog broker, I mean, initially system gets connected with the dog broker, and the dog broker knows which repositories are running or not running, right? So one dog broker can have a multiple dog bases as well. As I told you, the example of dev prod UAT like this, right? Similarly, we can have a multiple dog bases. For, let's say if our business is spread over more than one countries, I mean, in different countries,
Correct.
right? So we can set up a one dog base for one country. For example, let's say I take an example, TCS. So Tata TCS has a operations in different many countries, right? So TCS India is there, right? TCS US is there, TCS mm, UK is there, right?
Correct.
So I mean, all they have the employee in India. Similarly, the US, UK, they have their own their employees. All the business unit is there in there, right?
Correct.
So the respective country have a one dog base,
Okay.
right?
So is there any use for doing like that, or it is again different? As you said that content servers are many, but Dockbase is one like that. Starting you said,
Yeah,
but
right.
even it is
So
like
see,
across the
yeah,
globe there will be different uh, documents they are using. So that will be like that, or is there any mechanism inside that for different regions?
yeah. I mean, both of the things are possible. See, because production UAT. Let's say I told you this example. The production UAT and dev, all environment could cannot have I mean same setup, right? I mean same place. We cannot keep a development things, production thing, and all together, right?
yeah,
Because production is kind of a all whole full-fledged secure environment, whereas UAT or development is a less secure. We do not need to have that much security or that much kind of performance we do not want, right?
yeah,
I mean general. So what I mean, right? And even the peoples they are working on the UAT and development, even the both of the environment will not have a same set of peoples. They have to work, right? Only few peoples or few business unit they work on the UAT. Even very few. I mean apart, right? Out of them they work on the development. I mean one or two in the development kind of. I mean
okay,
so we cannot put say same amount of resources that we have in the production to the UAT and dev, right?
yeah,
So similarly, we do not create with the same configuration. We create so therefore we create a more than one repository for UAT or similar to production or like this,
okay.
right?
Got it, got it.
So how the communication taken place? I told you initially. I mean initially what happened? For example, if you have to connect, let's say, I mean you have to access a repository, a dog base. I told you dog base is what? Is a combination of database and file storage, right? So
Mm,
here it is a repository. See, this is a repository or this is a dog base. This xcp repo, right?
PP, okay,
This is a dog base. Basically what is this? This is a combination of database and file storage,
yeah,
right? Are you getting my point? So where it is a file storage and where is a database, right?
yeah.
And let me show you that where is the database and just so if I go direct, I mean this because right now it's a kind of just a system with the development purpose and all. So if you so here's the data. See Documentum. There is a Documentum folder data, and this is a storage right here.
Mm,
Otherwise either because right now I just because I'm using a single system,
yeah,
it's not it's not enterprise system,
yeah,
right? I mean I'm not using it at enterprise level. Otherwise this storage rather having on this C drive or D drive, it would it might have on network storage, on the network or on the cloud or somewhere,
okay,
because I cannot expand my drive, right? It would have a 60 GB of space, 70 GB, up to that.
yeah,
But the system might have lot more data, right?
right,
In the organization, it will have a 1 TB, 2 TB, 10 TB, such kind of a data is there. So what they do, they purchase a space in the cloud or like somewhere. I mean so many cloud systems are available. They sell their storage. So we can connect that storage with the Documentum,
okay,
right? So like this, I mean it will create these kind of I mean just think your pen drive, right? Or
yeah,
flash drive or 1 2 TB hard external hard drive, right? So this is my external hard drive. Just think for like this,
okay, okay, got it.
right? So my physical content will go to that particular hard drive, and the related metadata will go to the database. But at commonly, if I need to look, I mean if I'm using a content server, that I do not need to go to that external hard drive or the database. What I'll do, I'll connect and can check our my data into the repository dog base.
No,
I mean, you do not need to explicitly go to here. Oh, this is my file. Not like this.
Okay.
This is my file. It is not like this. You cannot recognize here because it is stored the files and all in encrypted format.
Okay, these are all cookies, right?
No, this is not. I mean, this is encrypt. I mean, encrypted format. I mean, the same data you can. I mean, for example, if you import a data file, right, it get stored in a storage like this.
Okay.
OD dot XY. I mean, something like this, just unrecognized format, so
Mm.
that no one can, recognize this data.
Okay.
Just for the making the security or such kind of things, to maintain the security, it encrypt the things, right? How how we can check this, what the file it is, this, and right? So we need a certain front end software that are there in a Documentum, like DA, Documentum Administrator, D2, right? In the D2, I can, we can read this file and identify, right? Same thing. And the metadata of this file, let's say this the metadata of this file, the metadata is there in the database, RDMS, right? So, but we do not need to go to the explicitly on the database or here. We have a this content server, this dog base. We interact with the dog base and whatsoever information we want. I mean, if we want this relate the information related with this document, we can either we can, I mean, send a request to the repository or the dog base. Dog base will provide that information to us.
Means we need to generate any queries or how it will.
I mean, by any way, but you need to interact with dog base only, not no need to interact with the database and other things.
I
Dog,
understand you said
th-
that. How to do that?
that we have a certain medium. We can write a code, Java code. We can write a DQL. We can even certain GUI based application is there, right? I mean, so many ways are there to interact, right?
So you are
Even
going to show any this also or how it will interact with the data.
yeah, I mean, I'll yeah, even I will let you know how to write a queries as well. I mean, the part of this course, even I will train you how to write a queries. I mean, at least simple queries how you can write. So at least yeah, so at least you can have a some idea that how to write a query, right? I mean, gradually, I mean, third or fourth session would be for the queries. Yeah. There's one another component, DMCL, Documentum Client Library,
Yeah,
right? So basically, mm, this is kind of a language that interact within the content server itself.
yeah,
What I mean to say, as I'm telling you, I mean, we have a database, right? And we have a file storage, right? But we do not communicate with the file storage or database internally, though we interact with the dog base only, and further dog base interact with the database and uh, provide a result whatsoever we demand. I mean, right? It do for us, kind of. All right. Let me show you. I
so
mean,
it works as a middleware for the.
exactly right. I mean, just it's a kind of a I mean, middleware or intermediary. I mean, it's a kind of a language,
Okay.
right? That, I mean, so I mean, by which this client interact with the content server, right? I mean, this you can understand it by that way. It's kind of a machine level language, right? Computer understand 0101, right? Binary language,
Yeah,
right? But are we writing a binary language? I mean, if we are doing in a Microsoft Word, right? Are we giving a instruction like in 01 format? No, we are giving instruction in our language, right? But our language gets converted into the binary language internally,
Right.
right? So this binary language is called a DMCL in a content server.
Yeah, same like Java virtual machines. Yeah.
Correct,
Mm,
right? Yeah, JVM, right?
yeah, JVM or in case of JDBC, Java Database Connectivity,
Correct.
like APIs, which will convert this code or the build, which will the understandable by mission and take it as a forward, like the yield the output when they are writing certain code at the end of the system in dot print output is there, so that it will read that code and also the converts into the binary language and use that output according to this code.
Correct. So it's just something like that. Yeah. I mean, these are the API, these are the methods, instructions that is used within the content server to interact.
Okay.
There is a one another terminology called DFC, Documentum Foundation Classes, right? DFC is an object-oriented interface that is used to communicate with the content server. I mean, these are the Java APIs. I mean, for example, and you can write a code. I mean, you can use a DFC to interact with the I mean, this Documentum or the content server,
Okay.
right? I mean, along with the DMC, it works with the DMCL. I mean, basically, we write a DFC. DFC internally gets converted into the DMCL, and then, right, like
Okay.
this. Because, see, you are saying the binary language, right? But you write a code in Java, right? Java language. So Java is a DFC, binary code is a DMCL, like this. You can understand by this way.
Mm.
So it has one feature, right? That feature is called Documentum Business Object Framework, BOF, right? This BOF, Documentum Business Object Framework. What the feature is this? This feature let the user to add a custom functionality.
Okay.
I mean, you just extend this framework and achieve the custom functionality or the business requirement, right? Without having any kind of things. I mean, already the framework is there. Just extend this that framework and achieve the functionality. What kind of functionality? For example, let's say you want, if you are importing a document, then the document should have a particular nomenclature, right? I mean, let's say if you are uploading a document for HR, let's say there is a HR department, and any document that are uploading for in HR folder, it should have a name HR and then hyphen, then particular date, then hyphen, or like business unit, or like this, right?
Correct.
Are you getting my point?
Yes, yes, I got it.
So such kind of functionality, or for example, there are certain business units are there, right? I mean, business units are there means in the Documentum following folders are there.
Yeah, I can tell you one example in the real time what we are doing.
Yeah, yeah.
So we can say that we have some four categories right now as per the company requirement.
Okay, yeah.
So category one is the required set effective dates and all. Category two is only uploading the document and making that approval. Third is just to take that client signature and uploading the document and make it as effective. So like that, different categories, like depending on the business usage or depending on the business requirement, we are segregated that as a different categories. Maybe when we are customizing those document or when we are doing such configuration according to category, maybe this business object framework will be helpful.
Exactly. I mean, such categorization. where document gets segregated by on its own as per the business, I mean as per the business logic. So this you can achieve by the DFC only.
Yes, only.
Right.
So then DBOF use is, I didn't get, sorry.
BOF, business object, is a kind of framework. By extending that framework, you can achieve the custom functionality of Documentum. I mean, you can customize Documentum,
Okay.
right? By just extending this framework. So, right, it has a, I mean, two type of concepts in the business of, I mean, BOF. One is a TBO,
TBU.
right? TBO.
Mm.
Second is a SBO.
Okay, okay,
TBO is a type based object. SBO is a service based object,
okay.
right? What is mean by type based object and why it is used for? TBO is kind of, for example, I mean, see, we have a different document types are there in the Documentum, right? I mean, in a different type of document, I mean to say, uh, let's say we have a four business unit. I'll take your example. I mean, right, four business unit means one is a procurement business unit, second is a finance, and third is a administration, right? And fourth one is, let's say, marketing,
Yeah,
right? They have their own type of documents, right? I mean, if I say the finance, the invoices are finance document, right? Finance related document, right? And I mean, right,
yeah,
so they have their own kind of documents,
yeah.
right? So what you can do, you can apply a business logic only for administration business category, right? I mean, for example, you want, if, I mean, let's say these four business categories are there and they have their own approvers, reviewers, or like this, right?
Yeah.
If any admin I mean the person who belongs to admin department upload a document, then should directly go to the uh, approver for any head of business, admin head, right? Same kind of, I mean, if finance person upload a document, it should go to the only the finance head, not a marketing head or like this, right? So in Documentum,
So you are saying hierarchy level for this.
right, kind of. I mean, just I'm trying to say that hierarchy in the sense, I'm trying to segregate this. What does it mean by type here?
Okay, okay, fine. Yeah,
Right. So type here, there are the four business units. They have their own set of rules, regulations, right? How to work. I mean, managing of work within their business unit. I mean, finance. The way of how finance work is separate, or it's different how the admin work, right? Admin work, finance work, both are there different, right? I mean, there is no relation with each other or among them.
correct, correct. In case of procurement means purchase orders,
A
bill.
purchase, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
this is,
this is their work. So
yeah.
even their document will be different, right?
The
Right.
kind of activities are different.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in terms of document, I mean, in terms of document DMS, if I say, right, in document management system, if I say, they have their kind of documents, right? Their own kind of document or their own kind of business logics,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So I mean, I mean, in the one system, in repository, I mean, if you want to restrict a particular business logic with respect to a particular business unit,
okay.
I mean, you want to create a rule only for a particular business unit. I mean, let's say you are you are going to create a rule for finance, then you are saying that this rule only should work to the finance only,
Definitely.
right? So where what you do, you will develop a TBO,
Okay.
right? I mean type based object. So I mean you will create a rule for a particular type,
Okay.
right? That's a TBO. But sometimes we want a rule for whole system,
Okay. 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 Got it. Yeah.
right? So then we will use SBO,
Okay. So this
service
is
based object.
correlate based on the GMP, GLP, GSP. Like
Exactly, right.
GMP
GMP.
certain kind of rules are there. In kind of GLP means there will be some laboratory studies and all there. GCP means any clinical trials are there. When it comes to GXP means overall GMP, GLP and GCP will come. So where we can use that service based object for the harmonized way, I can say.
Correct. So in TBO, it restrict to the type only.
Mm.
So I mean, system can have a multiple. I mean, as per the type,
Yeah.
based on the type, the rules are there. That is called TBO, and the rules that is specific the whole system. I mean, not only the specific to the type, they belong to a whole system. That is we create as an SBO.
Okay. Got it.
Right. This is the way how the client server. I mean, how everything interact with each other. I mean, here we have a content server. I mean, here we have a dog broker. Here we have a database. We have a file storage. We have a file storage. We have a database. So initially, how interaction happens. So here one, two, three, four. I mean, this number shows how the request is going and the response is coming. Right. Initially, the client. This is the client machine client, I mean, right. So initially dog broker connect with the content server internally. Dog broker have a kind of a sensor. It sense whether the dog base is up and running or not, right? It sense every moment. If the dog base is down, again it flush the errors, right? It display the errors. So initially the dog broker interact with the content server. Now, right,
Yeah.
it is by default gets connected. By default get connected, I mean these are the two different components. But this component, this dog broker component, always sends for the dog base,
Okay.
right? So if I mean this must be up and running every time, this.
Okay.
So initially that's why denoting by one. Now this is the client interact with the dog
Okay.
broker first by a, I mean, right, I will let you know that what does it mean by dmcl.ini by this. And once the dog broker get connected, then the content server send a request. I mean, then this client able to access this dog base.
Okay.
I mean, for example, you have to interact with the dog base, then you have to initial request come by a dog broker, right?
Yeah.
Dog broker will not ask you the credential,
Yeah.
just dog broker just to check that whether the dog base is up or not up, right? Once you have a green signal from the dog broker that server is up and running, then you have to pass your credential
Okay.
and further can interact, right? So three, if you look at this diagram, see, second this request, I mean second interaction is taking place from the content this client to the dog broker, right? And again third communication is happening through the client to the file, this file storage or the dog base, this dog base, whole dog base, right? This is a dog base. See, because dog base is a kind of a virtual thing. So client interact with the virtual, I mean this dog base, and again I mean whatsoever it got requested,
Okay.
it responded as of number 4.
Okay.
Got it? This take place when? client is directly communicating with the content server. But what happens mostly, this we have a DA or such kind of a middleware software is there. So we interact with the middleware software, and then the middleware software interact with the content server. Middleware software means the application servers.
Okay. What is any examples?
Yeah, here I'm just coming. There's a I'm coming to this point. I mean, here that I'm here that application server middleware and that I was talking about. This.
Oh, okay, okay, I got it. Like there will be some two types of server, like web server and application server.
All right. So
Yeah,
yeah, sometimes application server interact with. I mean, let's say the D2. So D2 is connected with the content server, and the end user is interacting with the D2, and the D2 internally interacting with the content server,
okay.
right? So where the D2 is deployed, D2 deployed on the application server or the HTTP server. This right now. Next concept is WDK, Web Development Kit. Web Development Kit is also set of Java classes and interfaces that are built top of a DFC.
Okay.
They have the JavaScript, XML files, and JSP and CSS.
One question here. So basically, okay, interfaces are nothing but the third party software, right? You cannot
Yeah,
able to develop or write the code and all.
right. So interfaces, I mean, third-party tool, but they are developed by open text as well. I mean that they're a part of Documentum itself. I mean, they are developed by Documentum itself.
Okay, okay,
I mean, the one same they are. I mean, when you say the third parties, I mean, developed by any other companies, but all the products are developed by the parent company itself. Well, I mean, one company.
okay. And also this, okay, this Java server page and CSS. Java server page is nothing but what I can say.
Yeah, it's I mean another simple form of Java classes. I mean that work on server side. I mean,
Okay.
so Java server pages. I mean, so basically you might have heard about the servlets.
Yeah, it is a small program which will be done through this. Okay, it comes as again advanced Java concept. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is nothing but
I
one
mean,
program.
yeah, these are the program that executes on a. I mean, that required to be executed on a application server or HTTP server,
Yeah, to extend the functionality of web servers.
right? I mean, it require a web server to be executed on. So, I mean, one form of servlet is JSP.
Yeah, okay, okay. And also
We,
here I got one more question. So when you are talking in technical terms, so and also we have some Apache Tomkit also there. Tom,
haha,
sorry. So
yeah,
that
yeah,
also the combination of HTTP server and Java based version, it will have some certain uses, I guess. Uh,
yeah. I mean, you are Apache Tomcat, right?
with Apache Tomcat. So Apache is developed based on web based, and Tomcat also. Sorry, I got confused.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this application. I mean, Apache Tomcat is a example of this,
Application server.
right?
Okay.
So either I'm saying application server or I say the see one place I'm saying database and second place I'm saying Oracle.
Okay.
You know, database or Oracle, both are the same thing, right?
Mm,
I mean, I mean Oracle is an example of database.
okay.
So similar to that, Tomcat is example of application server.
Okay. Application server only.
Yeah, application server is a generalized term,
Okay.
right? It's in general we say these are the application server. I mean, for example, you Krishna, me Sharma is there. We are a human beings, right? Human.
yeah.
Either you say the human beings or you say Sharma or write this. We are example of humans. The kind of. So WDK is a web-based development kit. I mean, Documentum has provided certain Java classes and interfaces. By using those Java classes interfaces, you can develop web-based application. I
Okay.
mean, this is the conclusion of that.
Okay.
I mean,
Web-based applications means
I
uh,
mean GUI, yeah, that work as a online portal. And you can say you can develop a portal to access a Documentum things.
is there any example?
DA is example, D2 is example, D2, DA, WebTop. D2 is a WDK based application. I mean WDK means they have used these Java classes.
Okay. Okay. Right. And also this HTTP server, I have one question on this.
Yeah, yeah.
That is comes as a web server, right?
Hmm.
So sometimes what happens is when we are accessing the this thing 500 and 400 errors, that is related to that web-based errors or some other kind of errors.
Right. Again, these are the web-based. I mean, let's say, I mean, you're saying 404.
Okay,
You might have seen 40200,
yes,
500,
500,
where the pays are not found or something.
correct, correct.
Yeah, these are the common. General errors. I mean, these numbers. Either whatsoever the server you will use.
Okay,
Uh, uh, these errors give you. I mean, you'll find the same number irrespective of which version you're using.
okay,
Yeah, I mean and the meaning of the errors. I mean, there are certain. I mean, the code. Let's say if you get 404. I mean that the application is not found, or that link that you have provided on the browser is not working, is not accessible.
correct. Yeah.
Right.
So that the one, how to identify that thing? Is there any separate troubleshooting these things? Or
Yeah, I will let you know how to. I mean, troubleshooting, even how to start Documentum servers. I mean, right now, see whatsoever this how to start dog broker, dog base. I mean, such kind of admin related activities will perform, and then troubleshoot. I mean, for example, if you started and it's not working, it's not started. How to identify? How to check? That
okay.
will, yeah,
Yeah, you already told related to dog broker and dog base.
dog
How to
base.
do that? Yeah.
Right. I'm just right now. I'm just theoretical or just to displayed you. This is a dog
Okay.
broker, but how to start dog broker? How to stop dog broker? If there is error in the dog broker, how to address that error?
Okay.
Right. If dog broker is not connecting, I mean all those things.
Okay.
What could be the possibility? How to check the port? What all ports are required?
Okay.
Right. We'll come to that point. I mean how much again? How much memory utilization is needed? How to check RAM and all. These are admin kind of activity we'll discuss.
Okay. Okay. No problem.
So this is the interaction for the web-based application happens. So as I told you initially that uh, it interact with the application server, and then further application server interact with the content server. Right? This is a dog broker. This right. Then dog broker. Then further dog broker. Then dog base, and like this. WebTop is, I told you, WebTop is an example of WDK. So WebTop is an application similar to the D2, right? With all the functionality that is available in the D2. But the difference between WebTop and D2 is that WebTop is fully customizable tool,
Okay.
whereas D2 is a fully configurable tool,
Okay.
right? Means WebTop can be customized, and uh, but where D2 cannot be customized, but you can configure D2 without having any knowledge of programming knowledge. But to customize the laptop, you must be having a sound knowledge of programming. It requires programming knowledge to customize the laptop. But nowadays, laptop has been obsolete, and D2 is start working in place of laptop.
Okay.
So the laptop has a certain features. I mean, right, l- like functionality, like check in, check out, edit, version, permission, and virtual documents.
These are all common features, no, sir. When we are
Right,
doing that, example, when we want to upload the content means we need to click as a new button and then we are checking initially first time. So once we are checking the document, first time means point one minor version will come.
right,
So these and all also comes under laptop only.
correct. So minor version, what you say the minor version? The minor version. I mean, here it's all the configuration configurable. Either you can set it as a minor version or major version or same version. That's all a part of configuration, right?
Okay. So
So
but these are all standard features you mean to say in the laptop.
yes, exactly. Yes, I mean these are the standard Documentum features,
Customizable feature that are, but we are configuring based on the
right? So in case if you have to enable this feature in a laptop, or you have to customize this check-in feature in a laptop, it requires you require to have a programming knowledge. I mean, needed to make this feature customized. In case in if you if I talk about in D2, you can configure this without having a sound knowledge of programming. It does not require programming knowledge, so you can configure this check-in, check-out, or some edit as per the business requirement. What does it mean by the business requirement? See, sometime we want that only it should have a major versions uploaded in the right. Whenever the user check in the document, always it should have a minor version to be created, oh sorry, major version to be created or minor version to be created,
okay,
right? So this is kind of a customization,
okay.
right? Check in, you understood? I mean, basically whenever you are I mean check out.
Document, then it called as the check-in. When we are opening, so
eh,
that is called as check-in, I guess.
right, check in, basically check in what they do.
Otherwise, when we are want to upload the document completely, so
Mm,
then we can give that instruction like a check-in. So to store the document in the repository.
right. So let me add one more point. I mean, basically checkout, I mean, initially we start with the checkout means downloading a document from the system to your local machine for update,
Oh,
right? If you want to do some modification in the document, what you need to do, you have to download the document from the system in your local machine, and you can update, and then further you can upload it, right?
okay,
So so in the Documentum, the process is check out first, and then you check in. So whenever you check out, system apply a lock on that document so that other people can,
not able to edit.
yeah, right,
Mm. It shows the red lock. Mm.
yeah, it's a lock. So right, so that you're able to see that how many. So right, so whenever you, I mean, anyone, any person check out a document, check out means, I mean, he write, I mean, download the document, it apply a lock. Basically, at the backend, what it do, there are three attributes, right? There are three attributes of the document get updated with certain values, right? Three attributes are the rlock owner, right? Rlock date, and rlock machine name, right? Rlock owner, I mean, who apply a lock on the document, I mean, who checked out the document, when it got checked out, and which machine it got checked out, from which machine it got checked out, right? So these three information is a set as in the metadata.
okay,
So right, I mean, why I'm trying telling you this, because in case if you need to find a report that how many documents are there, such kind of documents are there who are logged, means who are checked out by the peoples.
yeah, right, right. You are
So you can find out this way. I mean, you can query on all those documents where R log owner is not null. I
right.
mean, they have certain value.
Right, right.
You can find out.
Yeah.
Mm, right.
Okay.
There's another function is edit, right? Edit is something where, you know, in checkout we are downloading the document. I mean, documents is getting downloaded at particular place.
Mm,
But in case of edit, it it download and open as a pop-up so that you can immediately work on that document, right? Modify it,
right,
right? Version, you already aware with, that's minor version, major version, right? There is a two type of versions are there: major, minor. Minor 0.1, 0.2, 1.1, 2.1. I
right.
mean, that have a decimal value, that is a minor version. And the version that does not have a decimal value, that is a major version, right? 1.0, 2.0, 5.0, like this. Next concept is a permission. Permission is security, because due to this we have a one separate session for the permission,
Okay.
and same we have a separate session for virtual document.
Okay.
Virtual document is mostly used in Documentum, I mean, in D2.
Yeah.
See, in D2 you create a change request, right? And then further you attach a document with a change request to send in a workflow or like this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So the change request is nothing, just a virtual document,
Yeah.
right? So, so I will let you know that, I mean, how the documents attach with another document,
Okay.
right? So why we are saying the change request is as a virtual document. In case if you have to delete any member document, I mean, let's say change request has a five documents,
Okay.
and in case you need to delete any of the related attached document, how to delete that, right? Because in the GUI side, on the application side, you cannot delete, right? I mean, you can just select and right click and delete, it won't work.
Yeah.
But
In environment, I saw that that option itself not there for us.
right, but as a admin, I mean, see, it is highly required. I mean, in case you have to achieve this, you have to delete this. So how to delete? So at the backend you can delete, but still there is a procedure, right? So that I will let you know.
Okay.
So
And the check-in means we are saying something. I guess we are not.
yeah, check in, I mean, checkout means downloading. So it, I mean, during the checkout, that file get downloaded at a certain location, right? So when you click on check-in, it pick the file from that particular that same location where it got downloaded,
Okay.
and that point it gives, ask you whether you want to check in as a same version or major version or minor version. So
Okay.
such kind of configuration you can do in the Documentum D2. I mean, for example, you want always it should be a same version, right?
Okay.
You can, I mean, you restrict the users to check in as a major or minor version. Only you want us to remain it as a same version. So such kind of configuration you can do
I
that.
think you can explain the D2 configuration.
Yeah, I will this. Yeah, definitely.
And also that interlinking of the version also with respect to that another application, how to configure also you can.
Interlinking, yes, will I mean, demonstration that might not possible, but yeah, anyway, I will try my level best to display you.
Yeah, like
Because
what I can say, like D2, we discussed in demo, like today I have given one document which is the base for the another application in Pharma, like a track wise. So we have some third party like what is it? Synopsys software. So
Uh-huh.
with that Synopsys software, when the user is open at trackwise, when they are doing some change control or deviation, so
Uh-huh.
they want to link that object, sorry, they want to link the document through D2. So they are using that application and interact with the documents which are available in the D2. So then they will attach to that trackwise application so that tracking will be easy for the change control application.
Again, yes, I mean, again, and this I understood your concept. The technically, yes, that's can possible through the web services. I mean, I can tell you how to write this all. I mean, how the web service work, how to write consumer. I mean, such kind of things. But again, the whole system setup. See, I mean, let's say I have a Documentum application, but I do not have a access of third party application so that we can integrate. But theoretical, definitely, I will let you know how to do that. Are you getting my point?
No, no, like last demo, you told me at least you can give us some example. Like you said that you are also working in life science industry. Like
No, yes, of course, life science I will let you know, but the integration, if I say, so I'm sorry. I mean, I mean, I remember. I mean, I said this, but I said this the demonstration not possible because every software have a license based software, right? You know, I mean this. I mean, we have a Documentum setup, but third party integration.
okay,
Yeah, we have. I know I can tell you how to integrate with the SharePoint, but again, we need to have a SharePoint, right?
okay.
Right. I mean, the real time environment. I mean,
Anyhow, I will just display that thing. But if you know something, then you can tell me. Anyhow, I will display my.
yeah. I mean, yes, of course. I mean, if you can, I mean, if you have a access, you can demonstrate. Then I mean, it would be the way, obviously.
When I can correlate with the theoretical concept,
Yeah, yeah.
correlating with the theoretical concept, I will also display but that screen and all in my laptop.
Ye-
That is company laptop. I don't have any role, but I will just show that how they done that. They based on that, I think you can give some idea or
uh,
glimpses.
Right, of course. That I mean, again, that would be a kind of theoretical for you. I mean, again, because it requires a develop. I mean, see, integration more kind of a development. Though I will let you know how to. I mean, for example, let's say as you are saying that you select a document that are there in the Documentum through the another portal, right? So it happens through the web services, right? So right, so what you do, you write a consumer for that. How to write a consumer? Maybe, I mean, again, it requires some Java knowledge. Again, it's a kind of a development work, but theoretically how to interact, how it happens through. I mean, what is a protocol needed, how HTTP work on that. That definitely will let you know.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I will also maybe I need to note down that point. Otherwise, I will also forget to ask you because that is also somehow crucial for me. For that,
Yeah.
yeah. What is that kaleidoscope? Something.
Yeah, Caldius scope is a kind of theme, GUI format, front end, right? So I mean, let's say blue theme is there, white theme is there, red theme is there. So
Right now, actually, in our organization, we are using only two. One is standard, one is dark blue. Is the two themes only there.
yeah, it's for webtop only. I'm just this
Uh,
Caldius work only for webtop.
Laptop only.
Yeah.
And views classic and streamline.
Again, I mean, classic and streamline is, I mean, for example, well, let me show you. See, this is the web top screen, right? Here it's a streamline, and this is the classic view.
Okay, okay. Like I can correlate with this SAP view. Like
Yeah, yeah. I
when
mean,
they are giving that standard view means that initially when they launched that time, so they have some standard view. They have some dynamic like background, some aqua type of views and all is there. But they will display that contents in the different manner. Example like it's portrait and the module. So the contents will be same, but the drop downs are the these things are different.
right.
Maybe. Okay, got it. And also, yeah. DMCL.ini means what is that?
It's a kind of file that I mean, it's kind of a file, um, that has the connection in that content server information.
So example, I can see whenever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just I'm coming to that point. For example, see, it's kind of address file. Let's say, I mean, if, for example, if any client has to connect with the content server, then this file is required. DMCL.ini file. Basically, it has converted DFC dot. I mean, changed to DFC. I mean, let me show you. S- So, I mean, let's say we have an application server, right? Application server. This application server in the right. This DA is there. That this DFC dot property, right? This DFC dot properties. It has a dog broker host name, dog broker port name, right? This correct. This right. So this is the address information is there. Content server, where's the content server deployed, at what port it is deployed. So it's similar to that ini file, such kind of file where it have the address of the content server, so that it can identify where it has to go, it has to connect. Right. uh, there's a one another concept of, I mean, dog based federation. In the dog based federation, what we do, for example, we have a interdependent data dog bases,
Okay.
right? Interdependent dog base, right? Like San Francisco, Milan, Tokyo, we have a three repositories are located in three countries, let's say. So in case Tokyo user want to access the Milan database or Milan document, they cannot see, right? Because they have no dependency in each other,
Okay.
right? So what is the challenge over here? I mean, because they have their own local set of users, group permissions, right? And they are the managing these users and group at their level, right? So in case if any other person need access to other databases, they cannot have. So what we do, we create a database federation,
Okay.
right? In the database federation, what we do, we have a one governing database, right? And other databases are become a member databases.
Okay.
So in case if any member database has to access another member databases, what we do, we extend their permission on the corporate or governing databases. I mean, we add those permission to the governing databases. So because and all the databases, other databases are directly connected with the governing databases, so they people can have a access on it.
Okay. Same way, like I can correlate with the finance in SAP. Like in SAP module, finance means the company or organization is the highest level or hierarchy that we will choose as a main one. So then comes as a plant and then storage locations and all. So company will be common. So from company, under company the plant will be there. Under plant the storage locations will be there. So the company will be ultimately comes as the main, I mean highest organization level. So that the others will be always connect with this company WBS element like a project breakdown structure. So so it can support this activity, but the governing that company is the governing body. So based on that, remaining plants will work under the company.
Right.
I guess if I am not wrong.
Yeah, yeah. Correct. I mean, it's the same way. I mean, so what is the benefit? As I told you, that benefit, I mean, everything is synchronized with primary database or a governing database. So if anything need to access by another federation, so they do not need to connect that particular database. Just they interact with the governing database and can check the documentations.
Okay, okay, I got it. But
Yeah.
you said that if documentum is used in the global basis, so in order to interact with this different uh, doc bases, we can select one as a main one governing doc base. So we can interact with the main doc base in order to what I can say for
Right.
managing that objects or managing that document related queries. And hello,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I guess right.
yeah. Correct. So this is all about the architecture part, right? Now we have a different, as I told you that Documentum has a different suite of products. So let me describe couple of things, couple of products. I mean, we have divided all the products in four categories.
Sir, 1 minute.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we covered the content, doc broker, DFC, DMC. Architecture means whatever you said, that is only architecture or foundation.
Yeah, it's a content server architecture. I mean, here it's a terminology
Okay,
what we
because I
discuss.
haven't gone through that. What is the architecture? Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me.
So architecture means I haven't seen that heading and also between months I get I got it confused.
Sorry, I mean, can you please? I mean, maybe your mic is too much closer to you. Yeah, can you please come?
No, sir, what I'm trying to say no.
Mhm.
You covered almost all the heading which is displayed in the last slide. Like so, architecture means which one I should consider as the architecture. Sir?
That I mean, see, right now we have discussed this the content server architecture, internal content server component, how they interact with each other,
Okay.
and the other architect. I mean, in terms of the complete architecture, as I told you that how start stop sequence, how they interact, how the index server interact, that will come to that point. Right now, just is fundamental things. I mean,
Okay.
so that you should understand. I mean, basically, what I'm trying to say in the next phase, as I told you, we have a different suite of products, right?
Mm.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Got it. Got it.
so, what is the use of what? I mean, so we have a one scenario. I mean, we have a different products. Let's say. So here we have a one case study. In this case study, you'll understand what tool is used for what purpose.
Okay.
Are you getting my point? Because right now you are seeing that D2, right? I mean, so far your understanding is that you are working on D2, but is really a D2 is there to perform all the things? No, internally several components, several servers are there, right? Where you are working on it, right?
Mm.
So like we have a ADTS server, we have a index server, we have a content server, we have a database server, we have an application server. So what is the role of it in case, right?
Right, sir.
So I told you we have categorized the software in four categories: create, capture. I mean, manage, deliver, archive, right? So for creating and capturing, we have a following products: web publisher, content aggregation services. We have a desktop, webtop, even D2 comes into this category, and input Excel capture for Documentum,
Okay.
right? So input Excel is a scanning tool,
Okay.
where, I mean, how it works. It requires a scanner. If, I mean, for example, if what it do, if document get scanned from the scanner, it directly captured the content of that scanner, that content through the scanner, and and uh, and upload into the Documentum.
Like I said, category 3 ones, we are just doing the scan copy and just uploading
Yeah, you are right now doing the scan, so it does not, I mean, you do not require to scan it. It automatically scan the document and pick the I mean, read the metadata from the document itself. I mean, I hope you have heard about OMR,
it.
OCR, OCR, OMR kind of.
Oh, sorry, not also like
Okay, no problem. So
that.
it's I mean, it's kind of technology that read the document. I mean, if, I mean, it captures the information on the document during the scan.
Right, right. You told me in the demo session, I think.
Yep.
Instead of this thing, system only read the document. I guess.
Yeah. So, I mean, for example, I mean, see, you purchase a SIM card, you fill up the forms, right?
Right.
So, I mean, so that form, if I scan that form, it captures your name, your phone number, your address, everything, and store in a database,
Right.
and uncopy that document in a file storage.
Okay.
I mean, create an object in a Documentum,
Okay.
and even and along with the metadata. So user not, I mean, end user no need to fill anything. It automatically capture the information from the I mean, whenever you when the document get scanned.
Okay.
So the tool name is input Excel,
Okay.
right? I mean, the whole solution is called a Captiva. You
Okay.
right. Similarly, for managing category, we have a content server, DA. I mean, in the DA we manage. I will demonstrate this DA for you. I mean, we'll discuss in detail this DA.
Okay.
Uh, I mean, see, content server, obviously we are discussing, and we'll let you know that how content server install everything. I mean, we'll discuss in detail.
Okay.
And this document control manager, I'm sorry, this GX Pharma. GX Pharma is basically a D2
Okay. Okay. Okay.
that we will discuss. I will, we'll discuss the configuration part as well. Uh, just again, I mean, because it's the first session, and let me make you, maybe, I mean, if anything, I mean, if anything you think that it's a deviation, D2, I will just demonstrate it. I mean, you will not have any hands-on things. Again, I'm just right. I think I already, because it's kind of this product is kind of license-based product.
Mhm.
So we cannot have, we have only a demo license. Demo in the sense, I mean, the license just for demonstration purpose. I
Okay.
mean, each component, definitely each component, I'll let you know how to do that. I mean, the configuration part, but everything practical will not be possible. Again, I mean, maybe, I mean,
Okay. Okay.
are you getting because it requires, the whole setup, all the license, because we can manage, I mean, one license, two license, but the whole license, the cost of the license, the package is $800.
Oh,
So I mean, right, so it's not easy to have a license. There's a nowadays I mean, document is the costliest solution
okay.
for the industries because of the highest license. I know, even this $800, I mean, the license costs just for the software. and for the D2 and other product you have to buy a separate license.
So, like these products, I think you can.
Yeah, yeah. So DA, we can I mean, we have a general license. We can display you this this DA, even content server. Even if you want, we can give you the VM, the Linux VM that have a DA and content server there. So for this you can do the some practical things. So,
Okay.
right,
Not
this.
using these products, also you are going to explain how the glimpse is like means to set up that.
Right. I mean, this I will provide you. This VM I will provide you this for
Uh,
the content server and DA only.
okay, that
This.
uh, that too. Next two also, sir. This one, how to map that content rendition services and
Yeah. I mean, that definitely I will show you. I mean, how to. I mean, this is not kind of you have to do anything.
admin expert is not required to do it.
Yeah. I mean, but how interaction happen, how to resolve the issues in the content rendition. Basically, it it's kinds of auto services.
Okay,
This tool is kind of a auto services. Request goes to this CTS, content transformation services, I mean this rendition, and it converts the document into PDF and display it to you.
okay,
it's
right. Right.
it is their work. Basically, there are the Java utilities written inside this CTS. They take a Word document, convert into the PDF, and return to you.
Okay.
So there is nothing there at their end to configure anything.
Mm.
It's kind of
Plugin
yeah, automated product.
like a third party.
Yeah, I mean, earlier it was a third party, but what has happened? Mostly, I mean, organization by these third party softwares, and or I mean, so their business,
Non-configurable use.
right? Kind of. Yep.
Okay, got it. Okay,
So okay, so for the managing, we have a different software. Content server we discussed. Documentum administration we will discuss. Website manager is kind of, I mean, if you want to manage your content on the website content, there is a one product also itself. Website manager is there. Content intelligence services is there. That I'm telling you, it scan, right. For example, this document is there,
okay,
and here's the name, right. There is a name field, and here everybody is writing their name.
mm,
So I mean, you can make document intelligent enough that can read the documents name a particular section of document. So whenever it gets scanned, always read the section, right, and not only read that particular section, whatsoever written on it, it is stored into the database as well. Workflow services are there. I mean, how to start stop workflow, how to manage workflow.
how to design the workflow also.
Design, yes, I can demonstrate you. Again, I will demonstrate you how to design this workflow. But again, here is the one third party software tools is required, but you'll get have enough idea.
You can demonstrate me that will be enough no, sir. Workflow, how to design that through
uh, right.
like how to implement the workflows like authoring and collaboration and publication.
Yes, that I will let you know how to do. I mean, see, demonstration means all the codings is there.
Okay.
I mean, demonstration in the sense, I mean, I will write a code, and I can write a code before you and show you that how it did get workflow gets created.
Okay, okay, sir. That is enough. Because
Yeah,
if it is possible, you can
yeah,
display.
definitely. I mean, I understood. I mean, because most of the things are the technical point of view. The content server is a admin. I mean, admin point of view. Documentum administrator is a admin point of view, but this workflow is a, I mean, as a fully developed, but still, y- I mean, after, I mean, we have a one session for the workflow. I mean, we have a complete session for the workflow.
Yeah, like workflow development
Uh,
actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. And the development requires a, I mean, again, you have to write a code for the development, but I will let you know. I mean, I'll I will train you if there's issue in a workflow you can resolve. I mean, admin related issues.
Sir, that is fine, but I just want to know that at least one or two, like workflow development, how to do that. Yeah.
Okay. I
If
mean, yeah, I will try to demonstrate you. I mean, I will demonstrate if you able to understand. Then there is no. I mean, that it's a
Yeah,
good.
yeah. No, prior to that, you just tell me what are the prerequisites for that to understand. I will just go through that.
Yeah. I
Just
mean,
to understand, because I don't want to waste your time.
yeah. No, no, no. I mean, see, prerequisite is nothing, but the hardware requirement is a. I mean, thing is there. You must have a that particular infrastructure is there. You should have that. I mean, I have a software ready. I
Okay.
mean, you should have that particular software. I mean, though it's, I mean, not it's very tough. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
I mean, I have a two things. One is a Linux VM. Where is it? This thing. I mean, it has a 8 GB of space. It requires. But if you want this complete, we have a one machine that is approx 167 GB of space. I mean that this is the VM
Okay.
you need to have, and approx it requires. I mean this VM, if you execute this VM, it requires approx. I mean right now I have in this machine I have a 32 GB of RAM.
Okay.
So at least it requires a 32 GB of RAM.
It means I'm not telling to give access, but just I'm telling how
Yeah,
to.
definitely. I mean, yes, I can. I mean, you're saying, the development. I mean, that require the infrastructure as well. I can demonstrate you definitely. I can tell you. Even I will design it to you for you. But I mean, other way, if you want that, you able to uh, have a hands on it. I mean, you want to have a feel to create on it. Then it requires this thing. I mean, this kind of in your machine,
Specification required in first respect.
right? I mean, you should have this hardware. I mean, even see, let
Hardware
me.
and availability RAM.
Yeah, I mean, in your VM, and this even this machine also. I mean, that I will provide to you. I'm going to provide this also needed approx 12 GB of RAM.
Okay. Okay.
That VM,
Okay.
because see, on the organization you have a servers, right?
Mm.
But this VM you will execute on your laptop because you do not have a servers,
That's
right? Anyway, I mean, I will share the link. We'll see, I mean, how it take place. But I will share you, try you. I mean, how much RAM is there in your laptop?
right. No, I think still my RAM is okay, but I need to check my the hard drive or the space actually. Yeah, RAM is fine. RAM is um, yeah. My RAM is 8 GB is there, but
Okay.
my space is there. No, in the disk is very less because I need to clean my system because earlier around 300 GB is there in my.
No, I mean, this requires, I mean, there is a two things. I mean, the complete VM. I mean, there's a two VM. I told you.
Yeah.
One is this 6 GB download space is needed. I mean, you need to download of 6 GB or some 7 GB of software,
Okay.
and this another VM that has a highly all the software deployed, that is having approx 167 GB of space. I mean, it's a downloadable space you need, and if you unzip it, I mean, it's a zip file. If
Okay.
you unzip it, it become approx 200, more than 200 GB. And if you execute this VM, it requires approx 32 GB of RAM.
Okay.
Otherwise, it will not open up.
okay,
You'll crash your system, because it's a highly, I mean, 200 GB of software. If you start or try to start, then
okay,
okay. So I was on. We have a document control manager. Uh, I mean, again, these all are the tools related to manufacturing unit, like based on GMP,
okay,
right? Content authentication service. It's used for LDAP.
okay.
I mean, to authenticate Documentum from the LDAP. We
And
have a.
the document control manager, what is it, sir?
I mean, we have a different products.
Yeah, okay,
GMP based tools are there. I mean, it's based on the regulation of GMP. I mean, here you can manage the manufacturing or such kind of thing, majorly used in oil and gas kind of industries.
okay,
I mean, like we have a GX Pharma that used for, but mostly used for the pharmaceutical companies. Similarly, we have a document control manager.
okay, okay,
Now we have a media services. Media services, for example, if you upload audio video file in the system, I mean, if you want to manage audio video files in the system, that can be managed by the media services. Next, digital asset manager, in the sense, if you want to keep uh, kind of images, right, in the system. I mean, manage the images in the Documentum. You need to use this software, this tool. E-room, you might have heard about Teams, right? Teams.
for this digital asset manager also, I think it may be required, sir, for me, I guess.
Are you using as DAM?
Because what happens is ours, sometimes we are taking the patient reports of X-rays or something.
uh, okay, but no, I mean, right now, are you using them?
Mm,
Because nowadays, I mean, mostly third party DAM is there. I mean, it's a Documentum DAM. But nowadays, the organization, they are using a third party DAM. I mean, there's a other some other companies are there. They have a DAM, this digital asset managers.
okay.
So that
I'm not aware, but we are doing that images like which are used for the GCP studies.
maybe you are keeping that images as a I mean, just show me, I mean, sometimes, so that, I mean, I could identify. Otherwise, what I see, I mean, what I could imagine, you are uploading those images as a document itself.
In the document only, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you are not, because DAM is having a different purpose. I mean, let's say if you want to display
Okay,
uh, icon on the website, right? I mean, mostly it this DAM is associated with the website manager. So for example, you want to display image in your website, right? Product image in your website, right? Just right, you have a product and you want to display that product image into website, right? So the DAM is used for that. I
okay,
mean, here, what is the sense of, I mean, to do this, sometimes what happens, if you are publishing any image on the website, I mean, so organization want that it should be reviewed and approved. I mean, it
okay,
is not directly just display the image. So right, if any content is going to publish on the website, it should be reviewed and then approved, then further you can display on the
okay,
website, as per the regulations, or as per the, right.
okay,
So GX Pharma, I told you it's a D2. So we will discuss in this D2 section all the pharmaceutical section, GX, right? All categories, documents, and all that's right. Already you are aware with this business functionality, but D2 part we'll discuss very in detail.
okay.
Next, this for the delivery in the sense where the one document transform in other things, right? Let's say site delivery services, content rendition services, print control services, content distribution services, right? Uh, Print control services means uh, you can control your print,
Okay.
right? I mean, not only in the D2 we have a print control, not only D2, even in the web top or in any other any other front end you are using. you c- if the document is there in the Documentum content server, I mean, so print control services control the print of that particular document. You can restrict whether that can be printed, not printed, who can print the document, like this.
We can restrict also, we can give access also.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Similarly, content distribution services, whether you can share the document over the internet, over the as a link, or over the email, or like this. So you can
Like URL.
restrict the distributions as well. Right. Similarly, the site delivery services are again is among the website. For example, uh, let's say this is my website, right?
Okay.
And you want this section
Okay.
should be displayed or not, right? I mean, you want this, the whatsoever content is displaying on here, it should be reviewed. I
Okay.
mean, right. And tomorrow you want to change this content here, so it should have another version,
Okay.
right? So that in case if you want to check on day before yesterday what content was populating there, you can easily, you have a track, right, on it. You have a history maintain on particular section there in the document. That's possible. Next is the archiving tool. We have a record manager just is used to have a retention policy. You can apply a retention policies.
Like a storage of document and up to validity and all.
Right. I mean,
How much time we need to value, keep
uh,
the
yeah. So you can create a policies, retention policies, based on the organization
business
rules.
requirement.
Yeah.
Sir, and also that what are the interfaces which we can, what is it?
I mean, these tools are itself interfaces. I mean, this. If I say GXV Pharma is a interface tool. WebTop is having an interface. Documentum administrator is having an interface. Right. So, uh, I mean, gradually you will understand. I mean, here it is mentioned. Just here we'll see what has which tool have an interface and which doesn't have. And also the document can be integrated with these uh, kind of third party systems as well, like ERP can be connected with the SAP, PeopleSoft. It can be connected with the portals. CRM software can be connected with the Documentum, can be integrated. My I mean to say, even you can integrate Outlook or Lotus Notes with the Documentum.
I think actually currently we are using SAP and Outlook only. You know,
Okay, Outlook is connected, and you're saying the SAP is connected.
because Outlook is when the user is giving print or when we are sending that link to user from the document source and all where it is located. So that time we are mapped with the Outlook, I guess. Application.
Uh, no, I think that's not a kind of integration. That's a feature of DA or D2.
Okay.
I mean, you right click and send a link to the, and that's not kind of integration. Basically, what is the mean by integration is over here. See, you have a D2, right? In the D2, you have a folders. You can navigate to the folders and see how many documents are there or what documents are there in there.
Yeah.
So same in the Outlook, we have a at the left hand side we have a folder structure like inbox, right?
Ah, right, right.
Like this. So
Yeah.
uh, in the Outlook, you can look for the documents itself. I mean, on the D2 folders itself. I mean, you can view
Okay,
in
instead of doing that login
right. Yeah.
directly, we can.
And similarly, for example, you have an email, right? And any attachment with your email, right? Right. And you want to store that attachment
Okay.
in the Documentum. So what you can do, you need to just select the email and drag into the Documentum folder. Automatically, the document will store into the Documentum.
Oh, wow, that is really great.
I mean, no need to log in into D2 or some other tool. You
Really,
can directly drag and drop, right?
really like automation. I mean, not
Yeah,
automation exactly. So it's gives that ease of work instead of going and searching.
right. That's a use of works. But this integration, we have a different one tool. So I mean, this connector, we have a Documentum connector. Similarly, we have a Documentum connector for SAP, Documentum connector for Siebel, the Documentum connector for that.
The show demo, right? How to.
Yeah, I mean, connector. Try to show you. I mean, again, I'll show you that how connector look like, uh,
Yeah,
how
yeah,
to
yeah,
integrate.
yeah, okay.
But again, I mean, I do not have a SAP, PeopleSoft, or these type of.
No, no, SAP and CRM not required. Like Lotus Notes or Outlook is there, no?
I'm now. I mean, yes. I mean, again, you should have the Microsoft license for this Outlook.
I
So,
don't think so, sir. I have also downloaded through pirated or something.
um, uh, I mean, license key will not work with the pirated one, right? I mean, that connector will not function with the. I mean, it is not like that you are thinking.
Sorry, I'm just telling.
So, yeah, yeah. I mean, even so.
Anyone is fine. I don't want this complicated software how to integrate.
Hmm.
So at least that Outlook is basic. I'm not asking.
But the connect again. This connector. I mean, see, one the uh, we have to buy the connector from the OpenText, right?
Uh,
This connector, just like a SAP connector we have to purchase from the OpenText. I mean, it is not kind of an integration. Connector, you have to buy it out. So you deploy a connector, right? And that connector integrate with the SAP to the Documentum. Are you getting my point?
so right now you are not using us in your organization.
No, I mean third party system. We are not connected with any of the things. So uh, even this Outlook also. I mean,
So these two are complicated. I know that SAP and CRM require.
even I should say that these are the simplest one. I mean, this SAP and CRM is the simplest one. Then, I mean, in terms of complication, is nothing. I mean, nothing is a
They
complicated.
require like this memory wise and this license wise. No, this is.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I mean that the question comes to the license again, because you have to need. I mean, every software nowadays in Documentum is a license based. So you have to purchase and then you can download. I will show you. I mean, on the portal as well, display you. S-
And I
Right.
thought actually you are done in the current organization. That's the reason I the interest I asked you how to just show the demo or something. I don't know.
The out. Okay. Uh,
I don't want anything to be done integration from your side. I just want to know how to do that. That's
yeah, that how to do that definitely. I mean that one even that I can let you know for the SAP as well how to do that.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That is enough, sir. No need
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, the but practical implementation is a one bigger challenge because you need to configure everything.
Oh,
And once you configure again, you have to broad the things.
okay. But even development environment also it is complicated.
I mean everything. I mean whether you do the development or I mean you need a software, right? I mean if you need a software, you need to purchase. I mean these are not a commonly based software, common
And
software.
that is actually really looks like something like improvements expects, but it's not mandatory every organization will do that. But
Mm.
as an interest, I'm just asking, like,
Yeah, yeah.
have you ever gone through this, like, in your present work environment or something? That's the reason I'm
Mm. Yep. I mean, next is the developer tools. We have a Documentum DFC. BOF. I told you, Business Object Framework, Web Development Kit, Desktop Development Kit. I mean, these all are the Portlet Integration Kit. These all are the kits are available as a developer tool, right? So that you
you
can,
said that it requires little programming.
right. I mean, yeah. I
In
mean, this
case of
JDB,
admin, we need to know the things actually what is happening. So that's the reason you are giving that example, right?
right. So, I mean, for example, we have a composer. I mean, within the composer, we can do these all things. So,
Mm.
composer is a one combining tool. I will demonstrate. We have a one session for the composer.
Okay.
I mean, I will demonstrate you the composer how to create these things. I mean, so I mean packaging basically. For example, if you are developing anything in the development environment and further have to deploy the same thing in production, so how would you do that,
Okay.
right? So to pack how to create a package for any other environment and how to deploy that package will demonstrate. I mean, we'll let you know. We have a one session for that.
Okay.
So it's a web top, how it looks like. We have a, next we have a content rendition services. I mean, that services, it's kind of on automated conversion of document to the PDF. I mean, it just request goes to the server and automatically document get converted. I mean, right. So it's a kind of auto utility that is running at another server, just that pick a document, convert it and upload it internally. I mean,
Okay.
so just like this, I mean, you are uploading a document that goes, I mean, that goes to the CTS and gets converted and saved into the repository.
Okay.
It's a Documentum application builder, what I'm saying, the composer, where you can create a jobs. Even, yeah, I tell you I will tell you how to write a jobs automation, how to do the automation.
Because it is required, I think, for admin role.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. This is the DA. We'll demonstrate. We'll discuss very in detail this DA part.
Okay.
Right. Web publisher. I mean, it's a website publisher basically. So this is the way you can upload our pages, and these pages. I mean, you can manage the pages and that displayed over the website.
Okay.
Here's a digital asset manager. Like this way, you can upload an image files, and this image can be and further you can use these images based on the keywords or all. You can search and check the images.
I think this time.
Yeah, I mean how it is different from webtop, because the look and feel it's similar to the webtop. You know, in here in digital assessment and asset manager have have the capability of thumbnailing, right?
Yeah.
It thumbnail the image. So media services, I told you, I mean, if you are uploading if you are managing audio or video files,
Correct.
right, within the I mean, or if you want to render those kind of files, so that require a media services.
Okay.
Next, doc control manager, uh, like we have a GMP or such kind of protocol. Now the finest version is a D2 for this nowadays.
Yeah. Okay.
E-room, you can understand as a teams, right? We have a
Yeah.
team software. So similar to that, in Documentum we have a E-room where you can have a personal rooms. You can create a personal rooms, have a discussion on a particular document, and then that all discussion gets saved into the repository, right? I mean, so you can select a particular document, can check whatsoever discussion has happened with that particular document.
Okay. Okay.
Record manager, I told you, for retention policies, you can create a retentions and attach a particular documents. So at that particular as per the policy, if that particular document, I mean, the time is over, that particular document will get deleted from the system.
Okay. Okay. We can define it, right? So how to.
Right, yeah, yeah, you can define the policies, yeah. So here's the one case study. So I want uh, you to just go through this case study. 1 2 3 pages are there, and that by this way you can understand which software so far we have discussed. What is the, though I have already explained that what is the use of it, but you can correlate those software with the case study. So try to go through that. uh, we can discuss again, I mean, if you have any queries. And also try to go this I mean, this test your knowledge things. And apart from it, if you review these ppts that has a certain content, right, this like this, right?
Okay. Okay.
So do not miss to read this content,
Okay, sir.
right? I mean, if you're going through this, then also read these contents,
Okay. Okay.
right? So I'm just I will share this PPT over the WhatsApp right away, so
Yeah.
that you'll have access and you can utilize.
I will share my mail ID.
Y- Uh, Either you can share, otherwise it's easy to me to share over the WhatsApp. I mean, just I will drag and drop it to you right away. Though you can share me, I can share it to you over the WhatsApp as
Yes, I have
well. I
shared.
mean, email as well. I'm sorry.
I have shared that my email. Or you
Okay.
can, anything is fine because
Okay.
yeah, because I can give that means share screen. No?
Okay.
I think you are disabled that
I'm sorry. No, I didn't disable anything.
screen sharing. I guess. It is not.
Sorry.
No, no. You said something. Drag and drop.
Yeah,
But
no, no. I was saying that I will share over the WhatsApp. Right away, I will share this PPT to you over the WhatsApp.
okay, okay. WhatsApp means again it is storing on phone memory. So it's better sir to share in the Gmail. I shared to you.
Okay, no, no, not an issue. I will share over the Gmail.
I think you have received my
Mhm.
email.
Okay, Krishna. Anything apart from it, if you have any query, you can ask me. So just have a go.
Actually, really a nice section and in-depth. But to be honest, I'm just a beginner only in this case. Means the products and all really new to me. Even though that one or two I am familiar with that, but this class is completely new for me. Except that this life cycle is there, right? And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, life cycle and this one or two concepts I have shown to you on PDF. I have gone through that. Apart from that, everything is new for me.
So again, I mean, don't worry. I mean, each and every day you'll get these things. You'll understand the concept.
Yeah,
I mean, gradually.
okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Thanks
Thank you,
for
thank you for
your time.
time and the detailed explanation. It really helps me to 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 further. So Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Okay. Okay. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye
Mm,
bye.
thank you.